Well, good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I want to share with you guys an updated version of my Invicta 24 watch unboxing haul that I received, what was it, yesterday? I think yesterday from Bulldog Enterprise. If you're not familiar with Bulldog Enterprise, he's been a long-time reputable seller on eBay, and you guys know I'll always link to guys who I find not only provide the best listings, but the most competitive prices, and reputable sellers where you're going to get genuine Invicta products, or any products for that matter. So I have right here in front of me all the watches that I basically shared with you guys yesterday, or this morning actually, in my unboxing where they're all wrapped up, and I couldn't really show you guys what the watches look like. I'm going to run you through it right now, showing you guys what's coming and what you're going to be seeing in the next 24 days. Might be a couple per day because I have another deal I'm working with. We're going to be seeing a lot of Invicta videos between now and Christmas, and then of course after Christmas as well. So without further ado, I want to share with you guys these two big boxes, these 8 slot cases loaded with brand new Invicta watches. In addition, I have a couple sitting on the desk here that I could not fit in the box. So let me move these out of the way, and I'm going to start with these watches right here. So let me get a little closer to you folks. Alright, so right off the bat, I want to share with you guys, this is again, I'm not going to be spitting out model numbers or anything like that. I'm just going to show you guys what was sent to me and give you guys just a sneak preview of what's going to be coming down the pike on the channel in the next, say, 20 or 24 days, okay? So right off the bat right here, we have this fine version right here, this fine execution. Let me get a little closer for you guys. This one here is one of Invicta's, kind of like their, what would they call this? It's kind of like one of those decorative skulls you see, like Santa Muerta kind of skulls. Pretty cool looking watch. Very similar band to the Hydromax, with the exception that they've done a double push button deployment. I've never seen this done on any Invicta watch. Not that I'm sure there's not a watch out there that has that. I've never seen one done by Invicta to date. So that one's going to be reviewed pretty soon. I'm just going to go right through these in under 16 minutes, just like I did the other day, but just so you can, or this morning, just so you guys can see exactly what you're going to be seeing. Next one here is your strapped version of a Venom, classic Venom watch on a black leather band, genuine leather band, kind of a faux alligator. Rose tone bezel, black face, and of course silver mirror polished case. Venom's always a classic. Next watch right here, whoops. Next watch I want to share with you guys is this bad boy right here. This is what appears to be, and again, without doing any research on this yet, I'm just sharing this stuff with you guys just based on my own experience with the brand. This is a sub-aqua specialty, automatic version on a poly strap, powered by a Seiko NH35, I believe, on this. You have your traditional specialty case. It's not a chronograph, just a standard automatic movement, day of the month window, and of course kind of the skeletonized sub-aqua logo on the face. Pretty cool execution of a specialty. Next one here is a watch I've been wanting to get my hands on for a while. This one here is one of the Marvel editions. This is the Coalition trigger, and what's pretty cool about this watch is that the pusher functions are actually these two fold out bars which resemble a trigger. Very innovative, pretty cool, and you basically just squeeze these for your function pushers, or for your functions to start the chronograph. Although for some reason with this particular one, I'm not really sure if, let me just double check something here. I was messing with this one earlier. Oh yeah, okay. So a little bit of a different execution on the chronograph. Your main second hand is not part of the chronograph on this. Your chronograph function is completely on the 3 dials behind the main second hand. So that's pretty cool. They've integrated the second hand to be what you would normally think of the second hand, whereas a lot of the other ones that Invicta, their executions of this particular watch, or any of the other watches that Invicta makes, and I'm not sure which movement is used in this, maybe that's a factor, but generally when you start the chronograph, that's when your second hand becomes active, otherwise it's just stationary. But pretty cool. I've always wanted to get my hands on one of these watches. I love the fact that they put the function pushers on this as a fold out trigger. That's really cool. I haven't seen that done in any other watch. Pretty awesome. And it really goes along with the whole theme of the Punisher. Another one I want to share with you guys, one that I may end up keeping. This one I've had my eye on for a while. I'm not really into the Marvel thing. I like the movies, I watch the movies, but I don't really, get too. I mean, some people really get, they get all about it. I mean, they're dressing up. Me, I'm not really into that. But this I thought was one of the most patriotic Invictas they make. It's my favorite version, or my favorite model. This is the Grand Arsenal or Grand Octane, done in the Marvel Captain America version. So it doesn't really read Captain America other than the shield. You would just think this is very patriotic, red, white, and blue basically, or red, silver, and blue. But beautiful watch, all mirror polish. This is awesome looking. I mean, definitely an over-the-top piece. What's amazing with these Invicta watches is sometimes I'll see them on TV or I'll see them on the internet, and I see a watch, I'm like, oh, that's cool, not for me. But I get it in person, and then I'm like, man, like, that is for me. So, pretty cool watch. Absolutely love this one. All right, moving on to the boxes here. And again, guys, I know we're going through this really fast, but I'm going to be reviewing all these watches, again, in the next 20, 24 days. So, cracking open the first case right here, we have a lot of Invicta watches that are from their Sandblasted line. And this is a line that I've never actually seen before until yesterday. Pretty cool. I don't know much about the finish, to be honest with you. I know the finish on pretty much all the Invicta watches that I have been pretty good. Or not pretty good. I've had no issues other than on my Grand Arsenal in the Jason Taylor edition. The blue, I mean, barely, just barely starting to wear a little bit on the cuff, on the bottom of your wrist, but pretty slight. I'm not really sure if the blue doesn't hold as well, but compared to my other ones, any of the other finishes with the gold, gold or rose gold, I've had no issues whatsoever. Stainless steel, you're not gonna wear that off naturally. It's part of it's the metal, of course. But these are pretty cool. Let me crack these out. First one I just want to show you right off the bat here is this one here. This is an awesome piece. This is a Venom watch, okay? But it's a Generation 2 done in red and black. It is a poly strap, and I've never had any experience with poly. I will say I've tried this on. I wore this yesterday just for a couple hours. It's very, very comfortable, but I've heard stories about poly not holding up. I don't really know if there's a way to maintain its flexibility or to keep it from drying out. I think that's a factor. I've had a Sterling watch that I wore once, and I looked in the box and it cracked. So that's not something you want to do. And I'm always honest with you guys if I have a good or bad experience. I after that experience, and you might just got a bad one, who knows, but I really stay clear of poly bands, especially with Invictas, because here's why. If you ever get an Invicta watch, I understand that the poly, it's like, this is pretty cool looking, right? I mean, awesome. And they either make this watch with a red metal band, or they make it in a red leather band or poly. So you're really kind of subject to what they make. The problem with a lot of the Invicta watches is that these bands and cases, they're very much dependent upon one another. And what I mean by that is, if you break a band on one of these watches, it's not the easiest thing to just go find a replacement, whether you like red or not. If you have this watch and you're like, okay, no big deal, I'm going to go ahead and buy a new band for it, it becomes very difficult to find bands that will fit this. There are not a lot of bands out there with this lug width, and even some of the well-known companies that I've reviewed that, have a whole slew of bands in their arsenal, it's pretty hard to find lugs or bands that match the lugs. So just kind of keep that in mind when you buy poly. And if you're looking to get a band from Invicta, I never say anything negative about Invicta. I love Invicta. You guys know that. But I will say that getting parts or getting replacement bands for Invictas, I have heard by a lot of my subscribers that it's not the quickest turnaround, and a lot of times you're going to pay a lot for the replacement band. So one thing you're always going to never have a problem with steel or a bracelet version, that's never going to wear out. You may scratch it. That's really about all you're going to do to it, unless you're really rough on your watches. And I don't know who would actually break a band. I'm sure it's been done on every watch out there, but nonetheless, I definitely try to stay clear from poly. But this is such a cool executionist watch. I think this is like one of their, I forget exactly what they call it. Again, without doing any research on these right off the bat, I know that this is kind of part of their, it almost looks like a cobra or a snake. Pretty cool looking. I love the red and black. It's a pretty awesome color combination, especially if you're wearing like all black like I'm wearing today. And I got a vest on because I'm freezing. I got the temperature up here at 70 degrees and I'm still cold, so that's why I got a vest on. But what's cool about this watch is that it has, this is the Generation 2 bezel, and this is very hard to find on a watch. There are not many of these out in existence. I used to have one of these in the silver bracelet version and a rose tone or yellow tone bezel, and I sold it because I just didn't wear it. I wanted to get the Venom Hybrid, which has this same bezel, but this is a pretty cool looking watch. I'm not gonna lie. Again, it is on poly though. So again, and you can have great luck with poly. I'm just speaking of personal experience. I try to stay clear from poly just because I just don't know the longevity. Rubber dries out. Again, my Sterling watch cracked. So I don't know. It's up to you guys. But they still make them, so obviously they're not all breaking. So next one here, absolutely stunning piece. This was the first meteorite watch I've ever had the pleasure of getting hands on. This is, of course, the Grand Octane or Grand Arsenal with a white meteorite face, all mirror polished. This is a looker. I would love to keep this watch, but guys, you know, I'm not rich, so I can't keep all these watches. But again, these are on loan from Bulldog, so. This is a looker. If you guys, some of you guys have a lot more. Some of you guys have more watches than me, so get this. This is awesome. All right, so next one here is another. What's really hot this year with Invicta is they're making a lot of the Bolt Magnums, and whereas before it was pretty hard to get your hands on a Bolt Magnum, you were paying upwards of like $800 some of these. Now they got all kinds of colors. I mean, the price is coming down, and so this one is this awesome looking, kind of really light baby blue mother of pearl face, done in all that. This is not part of the blue label. This is just a blue plating that they put on this. It's almost like a slate blue. It's not quite as bright and royal as your blue label. Remember, the blue label is going to have a combination of that royal blue and gold accent. So, but this is a beautiful looking watch. Stay tuned for that one. Next one here is a very similar watch to that. This one's done in their new sandblasted version. You may or may not like this. It is a rough finish, so it does have a very rough sandpaper-like texture on your skin. I haven't worn it, but just by feeling it, it's very different. I don't know on longevity, but it is cool to look at. It's very rough, it's very flat, and I don't know if you can see this, but there's a lot of sparkle going on. So whatever they've done to this coating, it's almost like a metallic matte, like sandpaper finish. It's very, very unique. Definitely would like to have one of these in my collection at a later date, but this is it right here. Pretty cool. And then going along with that theme, I just want to go ahead and show you guys. Well, I'm just going to go with all the ones that I have in that particular line. And this one, again, these are the Bolt. I'm not really sure what the exact name, again, with Invicta. It's called the Bolt Zeus, but this is a Magnum case, slightly altered where they're doing that real thick braided cable. I like this watch way more than I like the standard Bolt. This one's done in that same sandblasting, but there's like kind of a decorative texture to it, or a decorative print on it. I don't know if you can see that by the picture. I'm not really sure what you would call that. Again, I do want to be honest with you guys and state, this is the one watch that I've ever had by Invicta of the, at this point, over 100 Invictas I've had in my hand and reviewed. This is the only one I've had with a defect, and the defect on this is nothing more than the push pin that holds the band. And again, it sucks it happened, but I want to be honest with you guys, and I let Bulldog know already that there was an issue with this watch. Easy fix, not a big deal, but I would be disappointed if I got it. And what it is basically the pin that holds the band to the this micro adjustment here on the clasp. The pin actually, where normally has kind of double nipples on each side where it goes inside these holes, it's a defective pin. It's probably a 10-cent item, but the ends are flat. So whatever they did during the manufacturing process, and these are probably mass produced and they're put together. I'm sure they're not hand assembled. If they were, you probably wouldn't have that happen. But nonetheless, that pin is defective, so you can't put the band together. But easy fix, very easy thing to get. And naturally, this was one of my favorite watches in the lineup. I love this combination of matte sandblasted finish with that cabling. It really is cool, but again, these things do happen sometimes. But that's pretty good. I have 100 watches I've had my hands on by Invicta, only one with a defect. Pretty awesome. Next one here, exactly the same watch, but it's done in kind of a it has that same decorative print with a beautiful bright silver face. This one's really cool. I wish they would have put this face on that watch. It just really sparkles. But this is done in kind of like a combination of a matte finish gray and almost like a gold with that decorative print. I don't know what you'd call that. When I do the video review, I'll try to find out exactly what it is. But again, you have that double time zone, awesome looking watch, upgraded bezel on this one here. This is a much better, in my opinion, execution of the original Thunderbolt. Again, but they don't, I don't know if they call this a Thunderbolt. On here it just says, or not Thunderbolt, Magnum, excuse me. So it's a Magnum case with an upgraded bezel, basically. Next one here, exactly the same watch, done in, this is done in very similar to that blue I showed you with the kind of a sparkle, almost like a, again, almost like a, not a pearl, but like a, almost like a flake they put inside this finish right here. Very cool. Definitely has a sparkle even though it's matte finish. Pretty awesome. So stay tuned for that one. Same watch basically with a slightly different color combination and done on poly. If you guys followed me on Instagram, you'll see I took a picture of this last night, threw it on there. The case on this is done in that matte finish, sandblasted finish with that decorative kind of, again, print, whatever it is, that pattern that goes across the whole watch itself, and a gray poly band. So if you're looking for a gray watch, this is definitely an interesting looking piece. I really like the way this one looks. But again, on poly, not sure. I'm not trying to downplay poly. I'm not trying to tell you guys don't buy it. I'm just trying to say that I'm a bracelet guy. I prefer having it on a bracelet, but a lot of you guys, and let me know what you guys think about your experience with poly. If you had good or bad luck, I always like to hear about that. And we are over 16 minutes, so we're just going to keep going with it. I'll have to edit this video together with my prime editing skills. All right, next one here, case number 2. Crack this bad boy open. All right, case number 2. Now the two I'm not going to show you are, it's the iridescent Grand Octane that I own, I've already reviewed, and the Blue Label Octane. I will review those again for Bulldog, but I have them in the box. It's going to be sent back to him, so I already have them. I'll just use mine for the review. But next one here, this is a full-size Sea Hunter 3. I own this almost particular watch. The only difference is the face is slightly different on this one, and just to be aware, just so you guys are aware, some of the newer ones coming out, they have cheapened the design a little bit. This one here does not have screw down function pushers and crown, so less water resistance, but let's face it guys, they call them dive watches, but who's really, I'm sure, I don't think many people really dive these watches. Just like they call a Rolex a dive watch. The guy who gets his first Rolex and saved up for it and is not, you know, filthy rich, is not taking his $8,000. I'm not saying people don't dive with them, but I'm just saying, like, I personally wouldn't take one of my nicest watches diving. I wouldn't want to risk scratching it up. I'd wear a beater watch, you know. Next one here is, again, I have a Sub-Aqua Noma 3. I wish I had this particular one. This is just mirror polished, blinged out, gold on gold, and I really wish I don't wear my Sub-Aqua Noma 3 all that much. Not because I don't like the watch, I just just one that doesn't get a lot of wrist time anymore. But this, I wish I had this one instead. This is just mirror polished, gold on gold. It just looks extremely expensive and rich. Man, if you like gold, you don't have a Sub-Aqua Noma 3, this is pretty nice, I'm not going to lie. Alright, so another one here, going a little bit smaller, we have a Grand Diver Jason Taylor edition. This one here actually has at the, looks like the 12, the 12, the 6, and the 9 o'clock position, genuine black, are they black diamond? It looks like they're genuine black diamond with a black mother of pearl face. Seiko NH35 movement on this one here. Again, all black with that blue kind of flame, furnace blue bezel. Great looking watch. I really like this one too. A little small for my liking, but you know, it kind of mimics the in its own way. I don't know if it's necessarily homage to a Submariner, but similar design, but completely different. So pretty cool watch. Looks something smaller. Next one here, I haven't seen one of the, I haven't had a lot of, again, polyband watches, but this one here is a blue polyband on your standard Venom Watch, combination of, yep, there's probably more watches coming. Again, master calendar execution on this one here, or complications, if I'm saying that right. I mean, I love this is one of my favorite movements, the Master Calendar. It really is cool looking. So pretty nice, not bad. Next one here is a Jason Taylor edition of the, I don't know which one this one is. This is looks like a, I misspoke yesterday. So this is a Sub-Aqua Noma 5 on poly. All combat edition, mirror polished case on the sides with a combination of matte finish, like almost like a carbon fiber looking face on the retrograde day of the week window. I know it's hard to see by the video, but guys, I have 6 lights on, 2 in front of me like you said, like I always do. But hey, we gotta work with what we work with here, so. Alright, so that's pretty cool, combat edition Noma 5, I love the Noma 5. This one here was the one I was kind of thinking about before when I was trying to explain to you what particular model that one was. This one here is almost like a hybrid Sub-Aqua Noma 3. The Sub-Aqua Noma 3 traditionally, on the other one I just showed you here, I'll show you, has 3 kind of raised, I don't know what you'd call them. They're like decorative points on the bezel. That's generally how you distinguish which Noma version it is. This one here is got 4 points. So it's almost like they took the Sub-Aqua Noma, looks like Sub-Aqua Noma 3 case and bezel, added 1 more of those points, did some decorative red, and then they kind of did a hybrid Sub-Aqua Noma 5 function pushers with a standard crown. There's not much on this. This doesn't really say to me Sub-Aqua Noma 4 hybrid. It's just kind of a hybrid of different elements of different watches. So kind of interesting. I haven't seen this one before. Next one here is a watch I used to have, just in a different color combination. This is your Coalition Forces, the original Coalition Forces, with that kind of cool tank design. Huge lugs on the band where it's very easy to change the band if you ever wanted to. Again, you're limited to finding new bands, and I always like the band that normally comes on this. This is done kind of like this, again, the matte finish or that sandblasted finish with almost like a skull graffiti all over the watch. Kind of different. Not saying this isn't really my style, but definitely cool if you're the kind of guy who likes, you know, if you're kind of tatted up, this might be something that's kind of artistic, I would think. And again, guys, if you're in the market for a Swole watch, don't waste your money. Get one of these. This is what Swole copied, this watch right here. So, and the final watch I want to share with you guys is one of my favorites. This is the Big Boy Sea Hunter 3, done in all black with a abalone face. This is the one I wish I would have got over my iridescent Sea Hunter 3. I just think this is a little bit more me. I love the way the abalone pops on this one here, more than the iridescent. The iridescent is so over the top, and I like it, don't get me wrong, I love it, I still wear it, but this one here is pretty cool for an all-black watch with that beautiful abalone. I love the combination of black and abalone. Stay tuned for this one. So alright guys, there we go. 23 minutes. That's what you're going to be seeing with the addition of more Aragons, more smart home tech products, and I have another deal going with hopefully a company called Exoskeleton, Watchstar, and Renato. It's one company or one gentleman who owns those 3 brands. If you're not familiar with Exoskeleton, Renato, or Watchstar, they are, in my opinion, one of the most unique watches out there. I'm really hoping that they get those watches out to me this week. The gentleman who owns the company is still kind of just deciding what he wants to send me. They're not quite as large as some of the Invictas, but I mean, really, these watches are just breathtaking, and I just absolutely love them. I've had my eye on, you know, Renato I used to see on the Home Shopping Network years ago, and then I don't know what exactly happened. The company kind of fell off. I kind of consider that brand kind of on par with Invicta. They kind of use a similar movement in their watches, depending on the model, of course, and just they have over-the-top designs that are really unique. There's not many watches out there I can really say really speak to me. Those 3 brands really do, and I'm working with another gal to possibly get more Invicta watches. I haven't reviewed a lot of the Marvel stuff. I know I shared a couple with you today, but some of the Marvel stuff and some of the Garfield edition Invicta watches. Again, not my particular style, but they're making it for a reason. Lots of people love that stuff, so anything I can share with you guys, I look forward to doing so. There's always something out there for everyone. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I know I kind of pieced that together the best I could there, but hey, I just wanted to let you guys know what was coming down the pike, what you're going to be seeing in the next 24 days. Thank you for watching the channel. Remember to subscribe if you love Invicta watches or if you like smart home tech or whatever. There's lots of different videos on my channel. Check those different playlists. There's something for everyone on here. And I absolutely love sharing this stuff with you guys. So let me know what you think. Drop the comments in the comment section. If you have requests, always let me know. I'll do my best to try to get it. And as always, guys, if you do make a purchase, please use my links. It does help to support the channel. So thanks a lot, guys. Have a wonderful evening and take care.